Hey everyone, it's Rochelle here with Losing It on Keto. And in this video, what I have for you is I'm going to attempt to make a high protein, low carb, low fat, aka PSMF, friendly mashed potato. So I'm working on this to make meatloaf and mashed potatoes with gravy. I've recently made tater tots that worked out pretty well. And when I did that, I thought, I think I could make a mashed potato out of this. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. And then coincidentally, I saw Chris Cooking Nashville came out with his mashed potato 2.0. And anyways, it just seemed like that was a sign to try this. So first thing, and I'm going to do this like I typically do this. I'm going to make this up as I go. Okay, so first thing, last night I steamed my 16 ounces or 2 cups of egg whites. So, you know, Chris cooks his in a frying pan, but I like steaming it. So I'm going to start with that. So I'm putting that here in the blender pitcher, the Vitamix pitcher. So I've got the egg whites. Now, what is not weight loss friendly in regards to Chris's recipe is he makes this with a stick of butter. Well, that's not PSMF friendly, so that's what I'm trying to overcome. All right, I had the notion of using a half a cup of my PSMF breadcrumbs. So this is just a PSMF bread loaf that I didn't put allulose in. And I don't know, this is so light and fluffy that I thought this would be a good ingredient to add. So I'm going to do a half a cup. Like I said, I'm just making this up as I go along, and I just think this bread these crumbs are light and fluffy, and I thought that would go well. Then I definitely want to have a serving of the baked potato keto chow. So I'm going to add the protein powder from that into this. Okay, and then I also thought adding a cottage cheese to this could be a good contribution. So I was thinking of adding a cup of cottage cheese. So that's what I have left here, and that's what I'm going to add. Then the question becomes, should I add more protein powder? And I think the answer to that is yes. And so I have the the unflavored milk-based protein powder out here. But then it's, you know, how much? And I'm also planning on adding some cheese to this, just like I did with the tater tots. So first of all, I have this toasted gelatin. So I've had this stored in my refrigerator. I toasted this when I made Chris's first version of his mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving. So his recipe, he adds a tablespoon and a half of this. So that's what I'm going to do here. So here's a tablespoon, and there's a half. And it looks like I'll have to make more of that. Okay. And when you have, you know, some of these things prepared ahead of time, it certainly makes this easier. So I was thinking I was going to add the same amount of cheese that I added as I did in the tater tots. But I found I needed a little bit more flavor. So I want to do 2 parts of the mozzarella to 1 part of Pecorino Romano because of the awesome flavor profile that it has. Let me get this open. All right, let's see how much I have left here. Oops. Okay, let's see how much this is. All right, that was 31 grams perfect. I had planned to use 28, so that works. Okay. Then I've got the mozzarella here, the Meadowrella, as US Wellness calls it, where I order it from, which is an A2 cheese. And I want to do 56 grams of this. And I know Chris calls for fresh mozzarella, but this is freshly grated, so. All right, so there is that. And then, like I said, what milk and what protein powder to add to this. I don't even know if those are the right added ingredients. I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix this, and then we'll go from there. So let me come back in a second here. Okay, I definitely need some liquid for this. So I'm going to do, I think I've got a 1/4 cup here. I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of keto milk just to get this going. And when I say I'm making this up, I'm prepared to bake this. Once I get this mixture, I'm thinking I would bake this. So we'll see here. Okay, I still think I need some liquid, so I'm going to add another 1/4 cup. Okay, this still isn't moving, so I know I need more liquid. So all in all, I'm going to wind up adding a cup of keto milk. And that makes sense given the keto chow protein and the liquid that I add. Okay, now let's add some seasoning. And this is what we've got. I'm really liking how this is coming together. All right, so let's do a teaspoon of garlic powder. I don't know that I'm going to need this milk protein. Onion powder. And then salt and pepper. We'll do 2 teaspoons of salt. Okay, and now pepper. Okay, let me mix this. Okay, let's try this in the Vitamix again. Okay. I wonder if I should add, here's what it's looking like. I wonder if I should add any of the protein powder anymore. I guess I'm not, but I definitely want to bake this. So let me get a dish here. I'm going to spray this. And I am going to bake this because I think if I bake this with the cheese and everything, I think that's just going to be an awesome, awesome flavor profile. Now what I could do is just heat this up in a saucepan. But I don't know. Baking this is speaking to me right now. Okay guys, I'm going to scrape out the rest of this. And I'm going to bake this at like 400 degrees for like 20 minutes or so. So I'll come back in the next segment and let's see what we're dealing with, okay? Okay guys, I'm back in this segment. I had these in, I checked them, I had them in at 400. I put them in the air fryer, on air fry. I had 20 minutes, but I pulled them out 5 minutes early. So they were in for 15 minutes. And you see they have a nice browning on the top. Let's give them a taste. So this is what it looks like. I want it to cool off. I used a good amount of seasoning. I worried that I over-seasoned them, but let's see here. Here we go. Trying to get the camera to focus. There you go. Oh my God, those are spectacular. That tastes like a creamy, cheesy mashed potato. Guys, that is a home freaking run. Oh man, is that awesome. And you know what? I don't know that you can see it because it's too hot, but it's almost like this created a little bit of its own, if you could see that, it's like it's so creamy from the cheese, it's like it created its own gravy. Guys, that is spectacular. Oh my God, I can't believe I nailed it. All right. Well, stay tuned for my other video because I'm doing a meal plan for the day where I'm going to show you how I pulled this all together with meatloaf with mashed potatoes and gravy. So look for that coming up shortly. Okay? Thanks for watching, everyone. This is a home run.